Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about a strength standard people have seen me mention a few times on social media, and it's one that I didn't concurrently reach until age 45. But it's because I was generally more focused on strength, higher body weights oftentimes, and actually have my squat a lot higher, and that is to be able to squat 500 pounds and do 20 pull ups. Okay, and do 20 pull ups. And a lot of people would say, well, that's really hard to do. The first time I mentioned it, people had said, that's almost impossible to do. And you know what? I don't think that it is. I don't think that it is. I think that it strikes a great balance in your fitness levels. And again, you have to be quite serious. I mean, the average person is not going to achieve this goofing off, right? You're not going to come in and just goof off and train and eat haphazardly and achieve something like that. But, and I'm going to catch flack for this. I know people are going to, because a lot of people, when I did my Big Five strength standard, a lot of people said that's unrealistic. But I'm like, that is what you need to achieve to reach the outcome that I gave. The same thing we could talk about here. And I got the idea from Jim Wendler. Jim Wendler had said, look, we can't all be Ronnie Coleman, but wouldn't you like to be able to squat 500 pounds and do, 20 pull-ups? And in this case, I'm doing the hard ones. You guys see me in the background, doing the wider grip overhand. There's a lot of variations of the pull-up. This one's harder. I personally feel this one gives the most upper back development, which is one reason I like it. It seems to be great for my shoulder health. But it is harder. I can't do as many reps, obviously, or as much weight with that one. And then you guys saw me in the background over here, basically high bar squatting 515, because that's a squat bar. It's a 55-pound bar. So the idea here is it is hard to achieve, and why? Because for most people, getting a 500-pound squat requires them to gain a lot of body weight. And I'm not saying everyone. The lightest client I've had who's hit 500 pounds has done it at 175 body weight. Now, granted, he's a little bit shorter. He's, at the time of making this video, no longer a client, but he was on for about 3 years, and we did get him up to, a 500 squat from a 440 while keeping him in the same weight class. Yes, he bulked and cut. He didn't recomp. He did dedicated bulking and cutting phases and stayed within a 12-pound body weight range. But he got to that. But for most guys out there, getting to a 500 squat is going to require them to be 220 plus, possibly more to get to a 500 squat because of the muscle mass generally required, the training loads required. Okay, that's the thing. You can eat your way to a bigger squat. But that's not fitness. That's not athleticism. That's just strength. It means you've got a lot of lower body muscle, probably good back development, and it means you've spent probably a lot of time under a heavy barbell and a lot of time at the table. All right, that's generally what, a 500 squat represents. And can it be part of our athleticism? Yes, absolutely. Again, I think getting to a 500 squat will make most people better athletes, not just better powerlifters. The squat itself, and this is where I agree with Matt Winning, that the squat itself is probably the single best lift we can do to improve overall athletic performance. Okay, but doing it at lower body fats is hard. Getting to a 500 squat while being leaner is really hard. Even when you cut down, if you've been heavier, you got to be careful not to dip back under 500. It's difficult. Not that a 500 squat is that hard to get. You can eat your way to a 500 squat if you train correctly and spend, 8 or 10 years under the barbell, no matter what your structure and genetics are. So we come over to the pull-ups. The pull-ups is where you really tell your fitness and leanness level, because the ability to do 20 pull-ups either means you're real skinny and light, or you've got a lot of work capacity and strength in your whole back and upper body. Right? The pull-up is, again, for reps, is a great test of athleticism, overall athleticism and upper body fitness. And here's the thing that I agree with a lot of other coaches out there. That if an athlete can't move their body through space, they're not really an athlete. So here's the point we come to. If you can't do pull-ups, how fit are you really? How fit are you really? Now, we come over again to the point people will say, look, I mean, real skinny guys getting to 20 pull-ups, you know, if they're pretty fit, isn't overly difficult. If they're real fit and at a light body weight, they don't train their legs. They're like, but with people who weigh more, it's harder. You start getting to 190, 200, whatever, because the ones I believe when I did these in the background, I was at 209, doing sets of 20. And that's a little bit harder. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest, because I'll be honest with you guys. I know other lifters who squat more than me and who can do more pull-ups than me. So when I'm making these statements, I don't even want it to sound like I'm the greatest. I'm just saying this is a great standard to aim for. Right? I know a guy who squats over 600 who can do 35 pull-ups. That's insane. Literally insane. But here's the point. Setting a standard like this is, again, a phenomenal way to test your athleticism, your strength, your body composition, your overall fitness. Like, how strong and fit are you really? How strong and fit are you really? And here's what I'm going to say to most of you out there. If you can reach this goal, you are at an extreme level of fitness. You can squat 500 pounds and do 20 pull-ups. You are at an extreme level of fitness, even compared to most people who work out. Okay? And I think it's a worthy goal to aim for. And I like Wendler's idea on it, when you at least be able to like to do that. You know, and again, people say, well, that's crazy, but if you follow good programming, you follow programming I do and give, you follow programming that guys like Wendler and stuff give, you eat right, you get into shape, this is totally achievable. It is achievable for young men. I'm doing it here at age 45 years old. All right? Most men are broken. They're broken by that point. Yet here I am doing it. So if I can do it, you guys can achieve this also. And it's one hell of a goal. But I think it's a worthy one. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.